Many people suffer from tinnitus. What is tinnitus? Tinnitus is a ringing in the ears. And so, as in case of sickness, the cause should always be ascertained. What would be the cause of the ringing in the ears? So we begin to investigate. And these are some of the causes that I have discovered in my investigation when people come to me wanting help with tinnitus or ringing in the ears.
Meet Barbara O'Neill, a respected naturopath with over 40 years of experience, who has uncovered some fascinating secrets about tinnitus that mainstream medicine often overlooks. In this video, she'll share powerful, natural approaches to managing and potentially alleviating tinnitus symptoms without relying on conventional treatments. Stay tuned until the end to discover all of Barbara O'Neill's groundbreaking insights on how you can take control of your ear health naturally.
One man used to use a jackhammer, and many young men that use jackhammers don't feel they need to wear earmuffs. They do, because that very loud noise, it damages the fine mechanisms in the ear. So here's this man now in his late 50s, and he has this buzzing or ringing in his ears. But what he discovered that when he stopped the allergens. So the allergens are the hybridized wheat. These are the allergen foods. The hybridized wheat, oats. For some people, oats are okay. For some people, they're not. But initially, if you're trying to conquer a problem, stop the oats as well. Dairy, and I'm going to explain why these are contributing factors with tinnitus. Peanuts, and also refined sugar. So why do they play a role? Well, they are the most common allergens. And the probably first response when someone has an allergy to these foods is excess mucus in the eustachian tubes. The eustachian tubes are tubes that connect the eyes, the nose, the ears, and the mouth. And we have to also look at sinus, because sinus is also one of the causes. A sinus congestion is also one of the causes of tinnitus because it's in those tubes. So what this man found is that when he ceased eating these foods, and he used to be a big dairy eater, he used to be a big peanut eater, and he used to consume a fair bit of sugar when he used to have several schooners of beer every night. So you could put in here alcohol as well. When he stopped these foods, he found that his eustachian tubes became a lot clearer and his tinnitus was not as bad. But what he has done, he has trained himself not to hear the tinnitus. He said, I cannot hear it, and then if someone talks about it, then I can hear it. I guess it's very much like when someone lives near a train line. My son lived near a train line at one point, and I went and stayed with him. I woke up with every train. So every couple of hours I woke up, what's that noise? Now Peter slept like a log because he's so used to the train. He's so used to the train, he can't even hear it anymore. You might be familiar with cicadas. At Misty Mountain in the summertime, the cicadas can make such a racket, such a loud noise. But we're so used to it, well, I don't even hear it now. So we can have a visitor and they go, those cicadas are deafening. And I'll think, cicadas? Oh yeah. And now I hear them. But until it was pointed out, I could not hear it. Unfortunately, maybe that can be also likened to a man that lives with a nagging wife. After a while, he didn't even hear it. The proverbs that say it's better to live in the wilderness than with a contentious, clamorous, and angry woman. So let's get back to the eustachian tubes. I also was talking to another lady. She said, what can I do for this tinnitus? So I began to investigate, and I discovered that she worked in a gym, and they do a HIIT class, you know, the high intensity interval training. And in the HIIT class, they have loud music, boom, 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 boom. And she said, well, we do it so that we, you know, it gets us revved up for our HIIT class. I said, have you thought of the William Tell overture? That can go pretty fast, but it's not as loud. So people who have been exposed to very loud music in times past or very loud noises. People in wartime who have, you know, especially soldiers who've been working with, you know, letting off those loud guns, they can suffer from tinnitus. So what's happened is those fine little mechanisms in the ear have been damaged. Can they be healed? Not really. Not really, because it's right inside the ear. The body does heal and the body does adapt. But as my friend Jeff found, who'd worked with the Jackhammers when he used to work in the mines, and as this lady also found, she said yes, she decided to stop doing that HIIT training class. She got the DVD, because with the DVD, even if they've got the loud music on, then you can turn it to mute. And you can have your nice classical music in the background. Maybe if you want something a bit faster, you'll choose the William Tell overture and do the training there. But every time that when someone has tinnitus and they stop these foods, they can testify that the problem isn't resolved, but it can sometimes be 50% improved, all because eliminating these foods has cleaned the eustachian tubes out. I have also found when someone has severe sinus problems, they can also get tinnitus. Severe sinus problems can also result in sleep apnea because of a blockage in these tubes. These tubes should be clear. You see, we should breathe through our nose and with our abdominal muscles. Nose purifies the air, nose warms the air, and nose humidifies the air. Mouth does not do that. But I have people say, I can't breathe through my nose. Why not? Well, it's all blocked up. Why is it blocked up? Because of sinus problems. So what causes sinus problems? In the 1990s, a group of doctors in the Mayo Clinic, they discovered that in every case of sinus infection, sinus congestion, they found a yeast problem. And we also had a ear, nose and throat specialist nurse attend our program. She's actually attended 3 times now, and she testifies, she said, we pull green slime out of people's sinuses. But the problem is, no one tells them how to prevent it. So they pull the green slime out and basically suggest maybe antibiotics, but why is it there? And why is the yeast, fungus, bacteria so active there? Well, it starts with an allergy to this. It can start with an allergy to this. These are the known allergens. Or it can also begin with an allergy to, because it's your breathing area, chemicals, breathing in chemicals. And it can also be reaction to breathing in mold. So if the person has been breathing in mold and they're eating these foods, the high sugar content of the hybridized wheat, the high sugar content of the refined sugar and the alcohol will just feed the mold. The peanuts will feed the mold. One of the most common causes of asthma bronchitis, especially in children, is dairy, because dairy is well known to be very mucus forming. So the first stop, or the first step, is assessing if there is any exposure to chemicals, and that must stop. I know sometimes cleaners, we've had very sick cleaners do our program who are exposed to chemicals a lot. I know one lady who became very wealthy by becoming a green cleaner. She said, I hardly had to outlay anything. She said, all I had to do was get sodium bicarbonate and vinegar and have some nice smelling essential oils and just have some really good cloths. I didn't have to have any previous qualifications. I met her a year later. She said, I've got 3 people working for me now as a green cleaner. because a lot of people don't want the chemicals in their homes. So eliminate the exposure to chemicals, eliminate exposure to mold. I know at one time we had this compost that I'd bought, and early in the morning when I was shoveling it and the sun was just coming up, that's when I saw the dust, and that's when I realised, oops, if I'm going to be shoveling this compost, I need a mask. So my husband bought me a mask that had two things out here, and then I was able to shovel my compost. So investigate where the exposure to mold could be. If you don't turn the tap off, you're still going to be mopping up in the other corner. And there's something you can do to clear those sinuses out, and that is golden seal snuff. You can buy golden seal as a powder. When you buy golden seal as a powder, you just put a tiny little mound on the base of your thumb, and you go over to the mirror, you close one nostril and little light sniffs, and then sniff the other and get the golden seal up into the sinus areas. So first of all, stop the known causes. It can take at least 2 months before you see a full result after stopping these foods. Even though it might be 24 hours when that slice of bread is out of your body, the effect can remain for sometimes at least 2 months. Meantime, 2 or 3 times a day, sniff the golden seal, and it will clean out that whole area, because golden seal is anti-staphylococci, it's antifungal, it's antibiotic, it's antimicrobial, antibacterial. So it's a very powerful herb. It's a very expensive herb, but you only need such a tiny little bit. Also vital that the person be well hydrated, that they be well nourished, that they be exercising every day, that they go to bed early, that they make sure their bedroom has clean, pure air coming into it. All of these factors have to be taken into consideration. And I have found many people to have been able to get their tinnitus very much under control, very much manageable. Everyone I know is managing something, and if you can manage it, you're doing well.
If you found O'Neill's tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Longevity Lounge for more natural health insights. Stay tuned for more expert advice to help you live your healthiest life. Thanks for watching.